Peggy, comment?
Yeah, well, I also spoke on this before. I believe there should be parity. I believe that the council should put themselves in the same place as the staff. And I strongly support the Kaiser cap for council. And I guess that's all I have to say since I've said it before.
Okay. Fareed?
I have to respectfully disagree with Councilman Lieber. I don't see a distinction between the city and the people of the city of Albany. It's one entity as far as I'm concerned. I'm pretty sure, Beth, that we don't pay you extra on an hourly basis when you come to council meetings. Certainly, staff at other cities I've worked for don't get paid on a per meeting basis. You go to the meetings because it's part of your job. So the idea of paying staff $5 a meeting when in some respects they're getting paid $0 per meeting, I don't think it's fair to try to make that comparison. And again, for me, it boils back down to the equity issue. As far as I know, the only reason, and this was one that I discovered when I asked about whether I could pay the difference between Kaiser and a higher plan when I looked into this, was from city staff that I didn't have enough pay to deduct the difference from when it was $5 a meeting. I was perfectly happy to write a check for it, but that just would have created a lot of headaches and difficulty. The system's not set up for it, and if city staff has to burn more time processing a whole new system than what they're getting out of me, that would be pointless. Once we go to the $300 a month, we'll have that differential to deduct from. So now that technical problem is about to be solved for us, I think that now we can do what is the correct thing in bringing us back into equity with our staff in terms of benefits. I would be shocked if any of us spend as much time doing our council duties as full-time city staff. A lot of us have other jobs that we do, and we expect to get compensated fairly for those. And I think I would be frustrated if I suffered that kind of differential treatment and lack of equity on the other end of my job. So I think that I completely agree with the commission recommendation, and it's the fair and appropriate thing for us to do. So I support it.
Okay, thank you. Marge?
Guess I'm last here. Well, it's interesting. Beth mentioned apples and oranges, and my feeling is that if you want to talk about equity, you could say, try to say it's equity, but it reminds me of the Clear Skies Initiative, which ended up being more pollution. So you can name it anything you want, but I don't see the equity in the sense that the employee has a different position than elected officials. If you do want equity, I look at this list that the city came up with and see that in the future, Albany will get $300, which was a month, which was voted by the voters, and that almost every other city pays more than the $300 a month. And there's something that doesn't seem, if you want to say fair, I'm not sure if that's not a point of view. It doesn't really seem fair to me to start something where the council has had a benefit, and then you're not even able to make up the difference until January. So I don't think it's the same thing, and I don't know whether this is part of the workers' or employees' benefits package where they actually would negotiate something about the city council. I don't even know if the workers or employees have thought about this or not, even though I know it came from the Social Economic Justice Committee. So I actually think that with the in lieu that we voted in, I guess, last time, and I don't know if that's a particular amount of money that we are going to talk about. I know some, like the school district has in lieu, but I'm not sure it's the full Kaiser amount. Then I would like to see if people are actually going to take some other kind of health benefit if they have other options. For myself, I actually don't even come up to the Kaiser rate that they're saying, because I'm retired, my husband's retired, and at a certain point, you actually are paying less, and I don't know how many other people that might have to do on the council. As I see it now, it's really Bob and Fareed that are going to be suffering if they have to choose something different. I don't know what Peggy's situation is. But anyway, I'm not in favor of changing it right now. I would rather look at it again after you start getting $300 a month, after you see if there's any in lieu people. Let it sit for a while, and if there's something that comes up next year, we can maybe revisit it. But I'm not in favor of something changing right this minute.
So I'll be the last person to speak. Appreciate social and economic justice and Brian calling this to our attention. I think the issue of parity is very important, and what I think parity means is comparing our city council with other city councils. And I want to thank Aaron for actually doing this survey of 55 cities in Northern California so that we had more of a sense of what parity is all about for our city council. And when I reviewed all the numbers, 75% of these 55 cities actually have a higher monthly wage than we do on the Albany City Council. And as Beth mentioned earlier, some of them have pension plans for the City Council. And I am not in favor of making any changes at this point. I am thinking it certainly, there are going to be 3 contracts that are up next year with city people, and we can see what happens in those contracts, but I don't want to make any changes now.
Okay, well, Madam Mayor, I do, and quite frankly, I haven't said so before, but I have been paying the differential, and it works quite well. So I'm going to move that, starting with the open enrollment period, that the City Council have the cap of the Kaiser rate.
I'll second that.
I'd like to make an alternative motion. I would like to move that we take no action at this time to make any changes.
I'll second that, but does the process... I'm not...
The process is you vote on
We
it.
vote on the second motion first. Okay.
Councilmember Atkinson.
Could you please restate the motion?
That we take no
Take no
action
action.
at this time. Things
Well,
remain
since
the
I
same.
seconded it, I guess I should know what I said. I agree with that, yes.
Councilmember Jovendal.
No.
Councilmember Lieber.
Yes.
Councilmember Thomsen.
No.
Mayor Wile.
Yes. Okay, next item.